Hey, what's up guys? It's Apollo. Thanks for stopping by and welcome back to League of Kings. This is week 2, game 1, 2, and 3. That's right, we're going to watch all games in one video. So this is a matchup between rXn and Dies Irae. So Dies Irae, they started off their season 0-1, but they can easily turn it around. And then rXn started their season with an easy 1-0. I think they beat their opponent 2-0 in the series. So yeah, let's go ahead and get started with game number 1. So we're gonna first look at rXn here, who is bringing, well, first off, here is their team leader, Kit, and he's bringing the Egyptians. And man, to be honest, the Egyptians in this kind of rule set is probably one of the best factions. It's so hard to beat this strategy. It really is. Like, getting all these royal Mamelukes and upgrading them, there's not much you can do. Like, there's not much you can do. So Egypt, I think with the rule set with 10 cav allowed, Egypt is one of the best. So he's bringing a lot of Mamelukes, a lot of royal Mamelukes. He's got his bodyguard here, and he's got some cheap Saracen militia as his infantry. So obviously he's focusing his money into his cav. He also has some desert archers, so bringing some skirmishers. In the center, supporting rXn, we have the Holy Roman Empire, commanded by Explicit. And he's bringing some religious fanatics, a great unit to absorb the frontal charge. And he's got some nice heavy infantry, some Imperial Knights, and I assume Feudal Knights. Yep, and they look heavily upgraded. And then looking at the cav here, we have Teutonic Knights, a couple units of Teutonic, actually about 4 units of Teutonic, and then a couple units of Imperial Knights. So another faction that we've seen quite a bit. He's got some Pavis crossbows in the back, and a General's Bodyguard. So looking at the final player of rXn, we have Portugal, commanded by Teutonic Elite, another great player here. This is a very solid team. He's bringing the Knights of Santiago, very, very good unit here. Looks like about 4 units. And then he's got some Conquistadors on his flank here, a couple units of them, very cool. And then for his infantry, we've got dismounted Portuguese Knights, we've got some Pike Militia, and I believe some Feudal Knights. So he's bringing a lot of Pikes, and of course Conquistadors. He's got some Pavis crossbowmen and a General's Bodyguard. So let's go ahead and look at Dies Irae. And facing Portugal, facing Portugal, we have the French, commanded by Michael Bay Stay Salty. He is the team leader. He's bringing a bunch of Shiveric Knights, which is really nice. Shiveric Knights, one of the best cav in the game. No match to Royal Mamelukes, that is, though. And then he's got some Noble Knights. So a very solid cav force. Obviously, with the rules set up for this tournament, it's going to be very cav heavy factions in army comps. He's got some pikemen in the front lines. And for his heavy infantry, he's got dismounted Shiveric Knights, and I assume Feudal Knights. Yes, some Feudal Knights there. Very cool. So let's look at the center army here. We have the Ginger Head Man, representing Dies Irae in the center. He's bringing a lot of Pavis, and this is not good. I can already look at this army and say he's gonna have a tough time against this rush. Whenever you're playing in most matches in this league is going to be a rush battle, and whenever you play against that, getting a lot of Pavis is not going to be good. Also, his infantry is not close to his cav, so they're at risk of getting charged. But his Spanish force here is getting some Conquistadors. He's got Shiveric Knights, a lot of Shiveric Knights, and a lot of Conquistadors. Very nice. And then for his cav, a smaller cav force, but he's got the Knights of Santiago. He's got some Conquistadors, about 4 units, and he has a General's Bodyguard. So there you go. This is like the first balanced build I've seen in this league. And then over here we have Sicily, commanded by Kellogg the First. He's got some armored sergeants, a good anti-cav unit. He's got the General's Bodyguard and 2 units of General's Bodyguard. Some Shiveric Knights, very nice to support his cav battle. And he's got some nice Knights Hospitaller. They look glorious, that white and black, very good. And he's got some Sword and Buckler men, which are pretty solid when you put upgrades on them. And he's got the dismounted Normans. So let's go ahead, guys, and start this battle. Here we go. So I assume rXn team here is going to charge in. But Spain is very quickly moving up into position, which is really wise. He wants to protect his infantry there. But this is the grassy plains, by the way, the grassy flats. And it looks, oh, look at this. We have some mounted crossbows for Sicily. And he's going to get some early harass off on the Mamelukes there. But the Mamelukes could run them down. Got to be careful of that. And here comes the charge from the Holy Roman Empire. He gets off a volley, with this Pavis, but not really killing much. And then he's going to charge in his cav here. Beautiful charge. Lovely. A little choppy there. I'm not sure why. Sometimes the replays can be a little laggy. But we've got the Pavis in the back shooting. So that was a good counter charge with Spain. You know what? Let me go ahead and pause it real quick. That's very bizarre. There we go. Simmered down a little bit. But we do have a charge from the Conquistadors, Chivalric Knights, so the infantry is meeting in combat. And now the French are helping out the Spanish ally. And then if we go over here, the battle is also taking off very, very quickly. Egypt flanking around with his Royal Mamelukes and his bodyguard. It's going to be a tough cav battle for Sicily, but the Nafatoons, Egypt's bringing Nafatoons, and they are breaking the morale of the sword and buckler men and the dismounted Norman knights. So just cav just all over the place. This is a pretty crazy battle, but look at this. This is just a long line of just troops slaughtering each other. Such an epic battle. Spain doing pretty well. I think the infantry battle is in favor of Spain. He just needs to win the cav battle, which he is not. And France is really, really trying to help him out there. But he's having a tough time. And then the battle between Portugal and France, it's kind of hard to tell who's who, but they look very similar. But this is such an epic battle. Like, this is so intense. So many units everywhere, just slaughtering everything. So yeah, there's a lot going on. Pretty much everyone's just rushing in and trying to kill as many as they can. It's really, at this point, it's a matter of protecting your infantry and killing the enemy cav. You know, you got to get rid of that enemy cav, and then you can get some hammer and anvil. But the pikemen for the French are holding. Looks like the French are doing pretty well, especially because they're helping out their ally with their cav and their pikemen. So good teamwork here. And Spain and France, they might win this engagement here. They might defeat the Holy Roman Empire because, oh, and there goes the general. So, Dies Irae, looking pretty solid so far right here. Spain holding on. That infantry, that superior infantry breaking the chain route. Oh, and there goes, was that the French general or was that the Portuguese general? They look very similar. But yeah, once they lose their general there, a lot of religious fanatics, low morale. The Imperial Knights, very low morale. And this is an obvious victory for Spain and France because France really helped them out. Now Spain, what they need to do is help out their French ally, which the French seem to be doing very, very, very well. Good play here by Michael Bay. Well done. Well done. Very impressive. So the French cav doing a lot of work here. And the Portuguese holding on for dear life. The Conquistadors, good charge. But if we head back over to the Egyptian side, looks like Sicily's having a tough time. The Royal Mamelukes doing a good job. I mean, they're so tough to kill. At this point, Sicily, all he needs to do is just kill as many Egyptians as he can. Many Egyptians as he can. Make it easier for the rest of his teammates. Because this is in favor of whatchamacallit. It's in favor of forgot their team name for a second. Dies Irae. This is definitely in favor. You look at the balance of power. They have way more power, according to the balance of power. But Spain is going to quickly set up against Egypt, so he's not going over to help his ally. I guess, you know, he doesn't really need it. And I think this is going to be a victory for Dies Irae. I think this is just great play by Michael Bay here. Really, really good play. And yeah, the infantry is setting up here. What Spain needs to do is set up his crossbows. If he can get some good harass off on the Royal Mamelukes, because I know they're heavily armored, but crossbows are great at piercing armor. So Royal Mamelukes, they're so nasty in melee against other cav. It's hard to beat them. It really is. And here we go, infantry charging in. Oh, and look at Egypt's pretty much like untouched. They're very, very healthy. Come on, get those crossbows firing. Got the mounted crossbows back there. Cav charge. Oh, they're gonna wreck this infantry. Yes, good charge there. Now the Royal Mamelukes, they don't have the greatest charge, but they're just so good in the melee fight against the other cav. And now we have the Tabaderia charging in. Got to do something about that. So I think Spain got a little too aggressive here. I think he should have just waited back a little bit more so he could get closer to his French ally. But the French are charging forward, and I don't think it's going to be possible for Kipuka to win this one. I mean, he is, well, both sides are flanking there, but it looks like mostly the Egyptians are breaking. And Spain is holding on, even though they're flanked around by the Tabaderia. They're holding their ranks. They're fighting off the very tough men of Egypt. And oh man, epic charge. Good hammer and anvil there. Yeah, but it's not going to be enough. It's not going to be enough. He doesn't have enough troops to win this one. He still has the Nafatoon though, but there's just too much French cav. He can't contain all this cav. So the cav's going to run amok and just crush everyone here. Oh, and that crossbow fire. Good use of the crossbows. Honestly, the ginger head man, well done. Like, I was totally doubting your army, but you did a great job, especially with the help from Michael Bay. So the French just coming over, saving the day, and the Egyptians are breaking from the field of battle. So yeah, this one is over, guys. This one is over. The Nafatoons are now engaged in melee, which is not good for Egypt. And the Royal Mamelukes fighting off some conquistadors. So a good battle here. The victory came from Sicily getting enough kills, hurting Egypt as much as they can. And France and Spain, just great teamwork over here. France was able to micro a bunch of stuff. Micro against Portugal, and also micro his cav against Spain, or not against Spain, but against the Holy Roman Empire. Holy Roman Empire really having a tough time. I wasn't a big fan of his build. I don't think it's worth getting those religious fanatics, but again, that's just not my playstyle. But once he lost his general, it was pretty much over. So what we're gonna do now, is just fast forward, so we can quickly get to game number 2. By the way, I added little time markers. I'm sorry, words are hard today. Added little time markers in the comment section. You just go down and you can just click, and so just in case you can't watch the entire series, you can just go, take a break, come back, and just click on the time markers. But anyways, here's the results. Kipuka getting 838 kills, getting the most kills, no surprise there, with those Royal Mamelukes. Explicit getting 501, and then Teutonic Elite getting 553. On the other side, this is a victory for Dies Irae, getting a lot of kills. Everyone did pretty well here. Michael Bay, I'm going to have to give the MVP. I think he really saved the day, getting 327 prisoners and 769 kills. Well done. So we'll go ahead and move on to game number 2, and I'll catch you there. Alrighty guys, here we are with game number 2, and we're going to go ahead and look at the armies for Dies Irae. And starting with the French, commanded by Ginger Headman. Again, he's bringing very expensive skirmishers. I don't get it. I mean, they're going to rush. I mean, it's tough to use these skirmishers in a situation like this. But Ginger Headman, he's going to have a tough battle ahead of him because he's facing Kipuka, and he's going with that Royal Mameluke spam again. But the French lines here, I'm glad he's bringing some Noble Knights. They should be really good at killing the cav. He's bringing the Shiveric Knights. Very nice. So a pretty solid force of infantry. He's got a nice mix of cav here. A lot of Shiveric Knights and some Noble Knights. So very nice. Here's his general. In the center, we have Denmark, Kellogg I. He's bringing a very similar build, I believe. He's got 2 mounted crossbow men. He's got some Knights Templar and probably some Shiveric Knights. No, Knights Hospitaller. Very interesting. No Shiveric Knights. So he went with a slightly cheaper cav. 2 Generals Bodyguard. He's got some Norse Axemen. So I like to see a lot of two-handed units in this game, because two-handed units are really, really good at killing calves. So a lot of Norse Axemen, some dismounted Huscarls. So his infantry is not the best, but if he can win with the cav, then he should be able to beat his opponent. Let's go ahead and look at the final player for Dies Irae. We have the Holy Roman Empire, commanded by Michael Bay, and he loves his pikes. That's so awesome. I love seeing the pikes. I really want to try out some pike strategies, because I've never really tried out the pikes, and they do seem pretty solid. But he's bringing the Lanzknecht pikemen and the pike militia. It's just a massive long line, a thick line of pikemen. And then for his cav, he's got some Teutonic Knights, about 4 units or 3 units, and a General's Bodyguard. I believe he has more cav hidden in the trees, and maybe even more infantry. So let's go ahead and check out the other team, rXn. We'll look at Kipuka first. He's bringing the same exact army, I do believe. It might be slightly different, but it's a lot of Royal Mamelukes, Nafatuns, Desert Archers, same exact build. He's spamming those Mamelukes. And then over here, we have Hungary, and there was a player change for this match. We have Denya, who's leading the Hungarians, bringing a couple of Pavi's crossbowmen. Cool to see. And then we've got the very cost-effective Royal Bandrium, which are a very good cav. They're not the best cav, but for their price, they're extremely cost-effective. And then he's got some Shiveric Knights on his flank. And then some Hussars, another great unit for Hungary. Very fast, very deadly, a great duo for with the Royal Bandrium. And then he's got dismounted Shiveric Knights, and I believe some Feudal Knights, right? Wow, mostly bringing Shiveric Knights. He does have some Feudal Knights. Okay, so 4 of each. And there's his general. And then at the final force, we have Spain, commanded by Explicit.D.A, bringing some Knights of Santiago, some Conquistadors. Got more Conquistadors back here. More Knights of Santiago. Very cool. Very awesome. And then for his infantry, he's bringing some pikemen. So this battle is going to be a little battle of the pikes. About 4 units of pike militia. And he's got a lot of awesome infantry here. Conquistadors. Very nice. Conquistadors, Feudal Knights, and a General's Bodyguard. So let's go ahead and start this battle, guys. And, you know, if Michael Bay really wants to win this battle, his cav has to win. His pikemen, yes, they're pretty good. But against this infantry build, I don't think his pikemen will win it alone. They can hold their ground, but I don't think they're going to win it. But look at this aggressive play here by the Holy Roman Empire. Looks like he's charging in his Teutonic Knights. And he's going to charge right into the Knights of Santiago. Here they go. Oh, man. Just epic cav charges in this league. It's pretty awesome. Boom. I love watching cav kill each other. It is too much. And now we have the infantry charging in. Very well-timed charge there. Get that infantry in there. And then the battle is about to begin over here. Check this out. The French getting really aggressive. I love it. But they're going to have a tough time. Where's that infantry? Charge in that infantry. Oh, really, really slow with the infantry. If he could get his infantry in there, he would be able to do a lot better. But now he needs to get his cav out of there, because his cav is going to really suffer from the tabaderia. But here they come, charging in. Here we go. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, my God. So the infantry is definitely in favor of the French, but the cav really suffered a lot of losses there. Look at that. The Royal Mamelukes are untouched, but there goes the Holy Roman Emperor, the Holy Roman Empire's general, which I guess the general is just really weak for whatever reason. But all right, sorry about that, guys. I had to pause the video there. My dogs were going insane with their barkage, but yeah, this is going to be a tough battle from now on for the Holy Roman Empire because they lost their general. It's like the last battle. They lost their general as well. And then this battle is going insane. It's just absolutely insane. I don't even know what to say. Just a lot of cav at the flanks. Infantry colliding in. I mean, this is a beautiful battle. I love the amount of infantry here, which unfortunately you don't get to see too often. But look at this epic battle. Yeah, the two-handed units are going to have a tough time against the Feudal Knights. And now Spain, who's part of Kipuka's army, or his team, the reaction. Ooh, losing some knights there. So, good charge by Denmark. And, oh, great charge by Hungary. So, there you go. Some great charges there. This looks like it's definitely going to be in favor of Hungary. I think Denya is going to win this one. Thanks to the infantry, for sure. And now they're going to surround the general, and the general dies from the stab in the back with the Hungarian infantry. Oh, man. Yeah, I think that's the nail in the coffin. Over here, if we look back at this French-Egyptian fight here, this looks pretty damn even. France is holding on against the Royal Mameluke spam. And again, I'm sorry for doubting you, Gingerhead man. Your army comp is questionable, but you're doing a great job. Ooh, hammer and anvil there. Hammer and anvil. So he's holding on. And there's the general. If they can kill the general. Oh, and they do. Man, they killed the general there. Fantastic. should be able to break these Egyptians. Yes, they are breaking. And he defeats the Royal Mameluke spam. Well done. Good play here by Ginger Headman. And this battle is anyone's game. It could come down to the wire. We do have the Hungarians setting up their infantry. A lot of their infantry is victorious here. All Denmark has to do, Kellogg the First, who's fighting for Dies Irae, he needs to win this one. He needs to just win it, or not win it, I'm sorry. He needs to just kill as many as he can. Looks like Hungary still has a lot of cav left, which is a little concerning. And then if we head back over here, it looks like Spain has the slight edge, mostly because of the general dying. A lot of the pike militia are retreating. And here comes a flanking charge by the conquistadors. The pikes go down though, and they kill a lot of those conquistadors. Oh man, I love, this is too much. I love watching the pikes go into battle like this. This is awesome. Very cool fighting here, guys. I love the pike battles. And there goes the cav breaking. And the Hungarians sending over some of their bravest Chivalric Knights to help out their ally. And the Teutonic Order's trying to desperately kill as many as they can. Because they need to do the same strategy. They need to kill as many of the Spanish as they can. And oh, the pikes are just getting surrounded. Absolutely surrounded by the cav there. So good plays all around. Good plays indeed. Very, very intense battle. Very quick battle. Egypt's still alive with some Mamelukes, but Kibuka is defeated there, and France is quickly trying to get into the fight. I think he's not going to wait. He's not going to let his troops rest. He's going to try to charge in here. I think he's going to get a charge on the Feudal Knights here. Dies Irae trying to go to game 2. They got to win this battle. If they win this battle, then they will take the series and they will start off their season 1-1. And remember, Dies Irae, they had to forfeit the second game of their match. So I really don't know how good of a team they are. I really don't. But again, this is anyone's game. In fact, it looks like it's slightly in favor of rXn. Nice charge there. French Ginger Headman doing a good job. Trying to kill those Feudal Knights, but you got to get some good cycle charges there. So yeah, they're really trying to clean up these Hungarian infantry. They definitely need to do that. They need to find opportunities where he can charge in his cav and get some easy kills on the infantry. But now he's really pushing up his Aventurier, which is it's tough because they're open to cav charges, but it doesn't look like anyone's interested in charging into his Aventurier. We do have some Teutonic Knights left over from that battle, which is good. So it's going to come down to a couple cav units, but look at this. We might have a charge from the Royal Bandrium. I love their armor. Here they go. Oh no, they're hesitant. Aventurier, fire. Fire quickly. Oh, this is going to hurt. This is going to hurt. Oh. Yeah, the French are just out of position right now. His units are kind of all over the place. But they were able to kill the Hungarian cav there. Here comes the General's Bodyguard of Spain charging in. rXn Spain going in, doing some work. And breaking the Holy Roman Empire of Michael Bay, the leader of Dies Irae. There's a good charge. That's what I'm talking about. Great charge into that infantry. That infantry unit is pretty much useless now. So yeah, I don't think the French have enough here to win, but they will definitely put up a good attack here. The French allies there, his teammates, were not able to win their individual battles, so it's going to come down to this. And I think it's going to be a GG, guys. A GG and a victory for rXn. Here they go. They're charging in, guys. They are charging in. Nice. Look at that very healthy unit of Feudal Knights going in there. Good flanking charges by the Conquistadors. And yeah, that's it for the French. They're going to break from the field of battle. And that is going to be a victory. So the game series is 1-1. And we're going to go into game 3. And it's going to come down to game 3. Whoever wins that one is going to take the total series. If rXn wins, they will go 2-0. And if Dies Irae wins, they'll go 1-1. So we'll go ahead and look at the end results here. They're just running down the units. And voila! Amid defeat? What are we waiting on? Okay, there we go. Alright, so reaction here. Egypt, Hungary, and Spain getting a lot of kills. Wow, Hungary just getting a ton of kills. Kellogg the first. I wasn't really a fan of their build. I think he brought too many two-handed units, and they really suffered against the infantry of the Hungarians. But I'm going to have to give the MVP to Denya here, doing a great job, getting a ton of kills, a ton of prisoners captured. And also the Ginger Head Man doing a great job, getting 814 kills. So that is battle number 2, and we're going to go ahead and check out the final battle. I'll see you guys there. Alright, here we are with game number 3. They are fighting on Death Track, and yeah, this is it. This is for everything. This is for the series, and both teams definitely want to get a win here, especially Dies Irae, who had a tough first week, and they want to finally get a win, and especially a good team like Reaction. So let's go ahead and check out the player names and the army comps. We have Spain, commanded by Kipuka, and this, of course, is Reaction's team. And he's bringing a lot of Conquistadors and a lot of Knights of Santiago. He's bringing a mix of pikemen and Conquistadors. And it looks like that's the main of his main infantry there. He's got his bodyguard. He's got some mounted crossbows as well. Very cool. And then in the center, we have Hungary, commanded by Denya, who's bringing a very similar Hungarian build. It's slightly different from the other battle. He's bringing some Magyar Cav, which is like a missile cav. They're pretty solid. They're pretty good. But he's got mostly the Royal Bandrium and the Shivrik Knights. I guess he's not bringing any Hussars, which is kind of surprising because they're pretty good. And then he's got 2 Pavis crossbows, Feudal Knights, and Shivrik Knights for infantry. Very nice. And at the very flank here, oh, what is this? Oh, here's some Hussars. Okay. So he left some over there. Anyways, at the very flank, we have France, commanded by Explicit. And he's bringing some Pike Militia to hold the front lines. He's got some dismounted Shivrik Knights, and I believe Feudal Knights. Yep. And he's got Knights Templar, some General's Bodyguard over here. And he's bringing Shivrik Knights. So it looks like Knights Templar and Shivrik Knights. It's a lot of cav. Lots and lots of cav. So over here, we're going to finally look at Dies Irae. We have Portugal, commanded by Kellogg the First, which I can assume he's bringing General's Bodyguard and Conquistadors and Knights of Santiago, I assume. Yep, Knights of Santiago. And he's got a lot of dismounted Conquistadors for his main infantry corps. So very, very deadly force. And he's got some Portuguese Knights, which is really good to see because they're going to be useful at killing the enemy cav. So that's a pretty solid force there. So Kellogg facing the French there. And then in the center, we have the Holy Roman Empire, commanded by Ginger Head Man. And he has about 4 units of Pavis crossbows. He really likes his bows in this situation. But, you know, it's been working. So he's going to hold the center there, and he's going to hope for the best. But he's got some Feudal Knights, and he's got some Imperial Knights. Holy Roman Empire, very, very iffy because of the Imperial Knights. They really suffer from the morale. So we'll see how they hold up against the Hungarians. And Denya, a very, very good player, leading the Hungarians on the other side. But yeah, holding the center here, Gingerhead Man, Dies Irae, and he's got more cav, mostly Teutonic Knights, I believe. Teutonic Knights and some Imperial Knights, a couple of Imperial Knights, and here's the General's Bodyguard. In the final force, we have Denmark by the mighty Zizak, I believe. I guess he's part of the Dies Irae. I guess Michael Bay was not able to participate in this battle, which is kind of bad because he's a pretty good player. They definitely need him. But he's bringing a cool mix of infantry, some Feudal Knights, some Shivrik Knights. He's got some dismounted Huscarls. Very nice. Nice little town ahead of him. And more Shivrik Knights. Very cool. So, yeah, and for his cav, he's got Knights Hospitaller, it looks like, and some Shivrik Knights. So, very awesome, and we'll go ahead and start this battle. So, here we go. Here we are with another battle of League of Kings. And it's going to start off very quickly with some mounted crossbows coming from Kipuka. And by the way, the map here is Death Track. I don't know if I said that already, but yeah, it's Death Track. And we've got the French retreating over, positioning themselves with the Hungarians, so he's grouping up the armies. Here comes a cav charge. into the mounted crossbowmen, and they're actually gonna get them. Ooh, they're actually gonna catch up to them. Wow. So tragic loss there. The Spanish are just gonna continue to hold their ground. They're not charging in their cab there. Ooh, the archer fire coming from the Hungarians. So good use of horse archers. I think they will return. They're in pretty large units. You know, they're not very depleted. So the Shivak Knights are going to hold on. And they're going to retreat. So they got the job done. They went in, killed the mounted archers. And they're going to go ahead and get out of there. I mean, I guess he's, well, just trying to figure out the strategy here. It looks like both sides are moving their armies this way. So both sides grouping up. So they're going to do an epic collision there. I can expect that. But yeah, the horse archers are going to have some free harass because there's no skirmishers for Denmark. None whatsoever. So they're just going to sit there and take it. So honestly, I would get aggressive here. I would not sit back and let these horse archers kill me to death. Though they're not going to get a lot of kills, it still adds up. Still adds up. So we'll see what happens. We will see. And then we've got, what is this? So, oh, the crossbows are back. Oh man, they're just harassing him, this poor guy. Here comes the Shivak Knights again. Oh, no, they're just reforming. And they're just point blank. There's nothing they can do about it. Yeah, if I was the Holy Roman Empire, I would send over some archers to help him. Just send a couple units of Pavis to help out your ally. Because you don't need all the archers. And the armies are marching forward. Look at the massive armies charging forward. Let's see if they can go in and get some justice done. The justice. Here we go. Here we go. It's officially starting. Oh, little retreat there. More charging coming in. Nice. Very, very nice. Oh man, that is epic shot right there. All that cav charging in. Holy Roman Empire now sending over some Teutonic Knights. It looks like to help his ally. There was a charge over here by Denmark, and it doesn't look like it was too successful. Spain was able to countercharge, and now the battle's really picking up here. We do have some breakage from the Knights of Santiago. Hungary doing a great job charging forward. It looks like he's penetrating the lines, and he's going to get a good position here. We've got the dismounted Imperial Knights going in. It looks like they're heavily upgraded, and they're ready to go. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. There goes another charge. Nice. Very, very nice. Oh. Great charge. And this is just a crazy battle between two great teams. Holy Roman Empire. The Gingerhead man holding on. And then over here, it's a little confusing because it's French, the French versus Portugal again. But just intense cav action everywhere. And really, again, guys, it comes down to just winning your cav engagement. Some great charges there by the Hungarians. Ooh, that archer fire back there. Good use of the Pavis, but we've got some Shivak Knights trying to silence the Pavis, which is a great target. Definitely want to get rid of them. And the Holy Roman Empire, they're holding with their infantry. Got some cav trying to flank around, but they're stuck in melee against the Feudal Knights, which is not good. I guess they're supporting some Feudal Knights over here. But if we head over to this battle, good flanking charge by the Teutonic Knights, and there goes the General of Denmark. So let's watch this battle. This is a very colorful battle. The pikemen are now in place, and I have a very strong feeling that Kipuka is going to win this engagement. Just it seems like he had a great start, and look at that long line. We do have some flankage though by the Shivak Knights. I'm gonna try to get those conquistadors. Look at this. Oh man, this game is too much. It's too awesome. Some more breakage by Spain. And it looks like Spain is going to be able to flank around some cav and get some great hammer and anvil. If we look back over here, Dies Irae, who's leading the Holy Roman Empire, they're holding on. but there's a lot of breakage. Probably the Imperial Knights, and the French are holding on against Portugal. And yes, they are breaking the Portuguese lines. There's some brave conquistadors against the Chivalric Knights here. And it's good to see a battle on death track, that's for sure. That is for sure. Here comes a cav charge. Oh! General versus some Knights Templar. They've got the support of some mounted crossbowmen. Portugal, mounted crossbowmen. So this is a pretty even battle between Portugal and France. It's anyone's game, that's for sure. And Portugal really needs to win this one because it looks like Hungary is taking a nice victory against the Holy Roman Empire. And Spain is holding on for, or not Spain, but Denmark's holding on for dear life against Spain. But the flank has been exposed and the breakage is now happening. Huge chain route. And this looks like it's going to be a victory for Kipuka's individual battle. Looks like it sounded like I was doing some beatboxing there, like Kipuka. Anyways, the Holy Roman Empire, they're pretty much defeated. The general is breaking from the field of battle, and France is going to win this engagement here. So a very, very epic play of some very epic teams, and I think it's safe to say that this is going to be a victory and a win in the series for rXn, and they're going to go 2-0 in the league series, and they're definitely one of the top teams so far. But remember, the season has only just begun. It's only been week 2. Week 2 is, or actually week 3 is starting right now. But yeah, great battle, great teamwork. Everyone doing a great job with their cav and their infantry, trying to flank around with their cav. And there goes the general for the Holy Roman Empire. We have a mid defeat. And this is going to be a loss for Dies Irae. So, yeah, moving on to 2-0. Dies Irae, they're 0-2, but they're a good 0-2. I think they're better than most. I think they're better than some 1-1 teams. I really do. I think they just had a tough situation first week, losing that, having to forfeit that game and losing the match overall. Very unfortunate, but yeah, they are a solid team. And amid defeats going around, and we can go ahead and fast forward. There we go. There's the end results. Kipuka leading his reaction team to a victory. Denya again getting the most kills, doing a great job against the Holy Roman Empire. On the other side, it looks like Kellogg the First got the most kills. That's Portugal. He did a pretty solid job against France, but it just wasn't enough to help his team win this battle. So I hope you enjoyed this series. I hope you enjoyed all 3 games. I know it's going to be a pretty long video, but again, well, if you look in the comments, there's time markers, so hopefully that helps you out. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this one, guys, and I'll see you next time.